Welcome back to Velocity Invitational, and it's a beautiful day here on the west coast of California, US of A. And yes, well, the song says everybody's gone surfing, but everybody went racing too. And it all began here on the west coast back in the 50s, and we are here to celebrate that exact fact that we have been racing through multiple decades here on the west coast and around the USA, I may add. And I've got two folks with me. Carrie Morse has joined us here in the booth, and Carrie Eisenlaw has also joined once again. And we're going to talk about Group 8, because this is an eclectic group, guys. And I've got the carries aboard who can carry us along, so to speak. But first and foremost, you've got some news, because there's one car out there that I've been kind of trying to chase, and that's the Peugeot. And I really don't know much about it, but I know it's a star-studded Le Mans car, right?
It is a very star-studded car. In fact, you were looking at the 2011 Sebring winner. And
wow.
What makes it even more interesting is that in 2010 that it was a Peugeot Works total sponsored entry, and then it was sold to Hugh Deschonec of Orica fame. And
right.
It was run as a privateer car, and it had a considerable amount of success in the 2011 season, certainly with the start of winning at Sebring. We had Duval in it, Lapierre, and Olivier Poulin.
Ah, right. Well, I'm glad. You know what, son? Thank you for doing the research for me, because I went down there early in the weekend and there was nobody there. Everybody was sort of running around as they do, speaking French at 1,000 miles an hour. And I thought, I'm not welcome here. I'm going to keep out the way. They've got to prepare this car. I'll find out about it later. And here you come with the information. Colin Braun, though, is at the front of it all, and he too has a storied car that won in the same year, both Sebring and Daytona, and that does not happen very often. Sadly, somebody pulling into the pits isn't going to take part by the looks of things, but we still have a good full field. And we've got Oricas, we've got Mazdas. This is 95 to 2016, so quite a breadth, and it includes Le Mans, ALMS, IMSA prototypes, and GT cars. So pretty much everything you want to know about sports car racing. Here we go, folks.
Well, this is a total FIA picture in time, and the interesting thing is that this track, Sears Point, folks, it's still Sears Point, is a great equalizer for a car that basically was what was known as a WSC car, of which the Riley and Scotts were. Not competitive really at Le Mans, but on a circuit like this, look out and look at the lead already.
Yeah, and look at the speed as well. I mean, you know, we've seen some older cars that can't, you know, quite go as quick through the corners here, but from above you can see the kind of speeds. And Carrie, well, either Carrie, but pretty impressive display of fast racing at the moment.
It's interesting on a circuit like this, and Carrie, you could have a comment about that, where aerodynamics do and do not play in.
Yeah, it's definitely much a very much so an aero track. A lot of the downforce is very helpful here. Your high speed isn't nearly what it is at the big tracks. So there's an advantage, and that's where you'll see some of the smaller cars, like the Cup cars that are up there fairly close to them, is that if you got really good grip and you got really good downforce, the big cars aren't able to really utilize their stuff, because they're only hitting speeds of, I think, around 145 miles an hour at some points out here.
That 46 you saw going through, that Porsche raced at Daytona in 2009, and then it was sold to Rob Morgan of True Speed, who competed in the World Challenge in 2009. So that 46, there you see it on the inside of turn 11, just behind it the Viper.
You know,
sounded good.
Now that's a Viper with a considerable amount of history, also Le Mans entry, the French GT series.
Yeah, it's got the French flag on the side, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
What are the French doing racing Vipers? I love it.
You know, that was Orica got on to that. Deschonec, give him credit for putting together a really good program for Chrysler in that time, where the cars were both competitive in IMSA or the ALMS, and FIA GT at the time, and several championships to prove it.
Yeah, the IMSA GT Championship was replaced, of course, by American Le Mans series in '99, and of course as we all know, IMSA's gone through a few sort of developments of different categories and so on. And I think it, having done WEC the other week and watched IMSA this year, I think they've really found their home now in terms of the two categories that they've got. And there's the Hot Wheels 911.
Doug Barron on the Hot Wheels car.
Yeah,
doing
that's
a good
Doug
job.
Barron from Malibu, California.
If you've noticed, one of the cars that is missing in action, or at least that I didn't see it take the grid, was the Mercedes CLK GTR. Clutch issues. They had planned to take the start, do a couple laps just for the crowd to show, to show how cool that the car really is. It was recently at the Pebble Beach Concours where it finished third in class in a newly formed class that was BPR and FIA GT.
You just got a quick glimpse of that 2015 Ligier JSP 315. That raced in the European Le Mans Series in 2016, 17, and 18. But you were saying that that was a surprise to see out here.
Well, it's basically unlivered. It has a race number on it, and if you recall for those series that they were all powered by Nissan engines.
Right. Yeah, Ligier now producing their own engines, or at least got a partner engine in Formula 4 and Formula 3, or FR now currently. So Ligier sort of making a comeback in that realm.
Yeah, I think beyond Guy Ligier's wildest dreams could he have ever pictured that his name would carry on to what it is today.
It's amazing, actually, yeah.
You know, much like all the great names that came out of the 60s, such as McLaren.
Well, with Renault potentially putting their factory away, I think last man standing could be Ligier.
Oh, come on, Jonathan, you're old enough. You remember Renault? We're in, we're out, we're in, we're out,
exactly,
we're in, we're out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're world champions. We're nowhere. We're world champions. We're nowhere.
Yeah, we're going to take a year off until we get the euro over the franc, so we can make some money in this sport. Right?
Good luck. Now the Audi R8, of course, has a place here, and we could have a whole field of those out there in terms of how many have been around in the day. This is a GTM GT3 from 2013. And it was raced actually in the Japan GT Series by Taisian Racing. And also took part in the sport race for Formula 1.
Yeah, Taisian has a long history. They were pretty successful with Porsche 962s in addition to the factory Nissans.
I'd love to see more actual Japanese entries coming into historics. I've been to some Japanese GT racing, and of course, as you can imagine, just like here, they too put their historics out there, and they are just as proud as you can imagine. But some of the cars are stuff that I've never seen before. The Japanese, like yourselves, are tinkerers, and just like the British are. And so there's all sorts of stuff out there that is kind of hybrid as well. And so I'd love to see the Japanese. They don't tend to leave their land, their shores too often, both racing and personally. So they're kind of it's an enclosed world, Japan, but I love it, and I love their enthusiasm for racing.
Do you remember the Tom's Toyotas?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, right. There is one of the early 90s World Sports prototype Toyotas, I believe, is still down in storage at TRD.
Wow. There's that Wins number 10. It too has a good history. 962
John
from
Hotchkiss
1986, that. And has literally campaigned since new and raced Rolex and Rennsports 3 times.
Yeah, Jim Adams, I believe, was one of the primary drivers of the car, and long race history. Car originally owned by John Hotchkiss.
That Porsche 23.
It's kind of interesting today that we're seeing cars in a lot of different places, and it might have to do with the temperature being a little bit cooler, that some cars have some bigger advantages today, but quite a bit different order than we saw the cars race in yesterday.
Yeah, I noticed that too, yeah. In fact, the results have shown that in the races we've had so far, all different winners from yesterday. So obviously the conditions just a little bit different, a little bit cooler. Yeah, Colin Braun's still out there and leading the way after a few laps, and got a good, strong lead of almost 40 seconds at the moment. Gerard Lopez and Florent Moulin is out there. He's the one driving the Viper, I believe. Billy Johnson also out there. You know Billy.
No, Billy, yeah.
He represents you well.
He does, he does.
Tell us about yesterday, because we were joking about it.
I'm watching, actually, Lauren Beggs right now. He just got around the Audi here a little while back, made a good pass. And Lauren right now is on he's going for it. He's going guardrail to guardrail and over the top of the FIA curbing all the way, and he's really on a mission right now.
I can see
Look
that.
at him, he's using every inch of that track. So I think he got held up for a little bit possibly, and now he got cut loose, and he's really, really going. But yeah, Billy had jumped in the 46 car yesterday, the ex-Morgan car. It was primarily a World Challenge car. And he went out there yesterday, and we've had a tire issue. We weren't able to get any tires because we got in kind of late in the entry, and they're backlogged on tires. So we had a used set, and we quartered those yesterday. And today we found another set of used tires, and they look like they're a little bit slower at first. I'm not sure, but it looks like he's doing all right with it.
One of the most interesting cars also that unfortunately we haven't seen up on the big screen here, hello Greenlight TV, hey, listen, they go back to 95. They have a fabulous history, and we wouldn't have a lot of good recorded images without those guys. They've worked their butts off.
Here, thank you.
The Ferrari 458 GT3, driven by, currently running in 7th. Wonderful car.
JR Amantia.
That is your 24-hour Spa winner from 2014. Also the FIA Championship car the same year. Beautiful mount, beautifully prepared.
You know, it's easy to roll off the tongue, you know, but we are genuinely seeing Le Mans, Sebring, Daytona. I mean, and not just one. Like, you know, if you have any car event where you've got a Sebring winner, that's a special event. But we've got several.
Well, you consider, but you know, look at the names. You have Spa, right? It's not, you know what it is, right? And just it demands respect. Much in the same way the Le Mans. It's interesting, the troubles with the Peugeot, although I'm sure it's being driven rather moderately, it's just not, this is a completely unfamiliar circuit, and simulator or not, how do you set up for, you know, for a track that the car virtually doesn't know anything about? Yeah,
exactly. Well, here is Colin Braun putting this car through its paces, and as you heard from Taylor, if you know you're racing here in America, Colin, well, he's been in everything. He currently races in IMSA, but he's done rallycross, and pretty much is a handy guy to have if you want to test a car, if you want to drive a car and see if it's set up right. Colin is perfect for that kind of work, and in his own right, a very, very good driver. Now, this car that he's actually at the wheel of, I said it won 12 hours of Sebring and Daytona. That was 1996 that it took that accolade.
Wayne Taylor had a chance to buy that car back at one time for a very reasonable sum.
Yeah, it was the driver lineup was Wayne Taylor and Jim Pace with Scott Sharp and Eric Vanderpool. So that tells you the kind of quality of drivers that they attracted. 7 of the 10 rounds in 1996 were won by Riley Scott Mark III race cars.
Which shows you that the design is made to fit American circuits.
Yeah.
You know, well, basically short, tight, limited amount of straightaways.
Well, interestingly enough, this 004 chassis is actually on sale by Riley. So, as driven, if you like, and by those names I just mentioned, and now Colin Braun. So, yeah, if you're interested in a very, very interesting race car with a history to go with, there's your car.
Low miles, only driven on weekends, right, Kerry?
I like that. Well, this is Group 8. This is our Le Mans, ALMS, IMSA, prototypes, and GT cars. We've kind of rolled them all together, and as you said at the top, Carrie, it's a real eclectic group, but a real story of the times between 95 and 216.
Well, the good thing about it is it's a history lesson in motion, you know, and so you could say that some of the, you know, the families out there with the kids are going to be attracted to a car from a certain era, from a certain year, and want to learn and know more about it. And we've certainly got enough variations out on track right now.
Certainly do. Lopez and Moulin will battle it out. Billy Johnson in 4th, Barron 5th, Ferreira in 6th position. And there's some tight racing going on here. Look at the Hot Wheels getting the lights on and getting racy on the inside. Makes his move. Nicely done. And like I said, that I think that 911 was campaign. Oh no, this is that.
It was
that
the car
911 you see out there.
Yeah, it won Bathurst.
Yeah, I was about to say,
yeah.
it finished 2nd at the Australian DG Championship and won Bathurst, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really neat car.
Another circuit that demands immense respect.
Well, the Bathurst 12 hours, yeah, I mean, unbelievable. It's a crazy Mount Panamera. It's unbelievable as a track, and it's now starting to get the prestige it deserves.
And you have to wonder how many kids right now are going, Mommy, Daddy, I want the Hot Wheels car.
Yeah, exactly.
No, well, we'll get you the model at the supermarket. No, I
No,
want
no,
that.
I want
that one. Yeah.
It also won in 2016 2 FIA GT3 races, took pole positions with a total podium positions in the World Challenge Series. So, again, been a busy little Porsche. Seeing who else has made any inroads. Billy Johnson currently in 6th place, just behind Andrew Faria. And Doug Barron in 4th. Florent Moulin still 3rd. And Gerard Lopez 2nd. But no one's going to stop Colin Braun unless there's a mechanical of some sort. He's way ahead and is clocking laps of, what, 1:28 was his best. 1:28.6 was his best time on lap 4. So, obviously enjoying himself at the wheel of that one. A few guys not getting out. Jeffrey O'Neill just popped in here. I think he's going to come and have a word at some point. But he was due to be out, but he kind of chooses whether he wants to go out or not. But busy enough as it is running an event like this. There's the 45 again.
Logo boys of Flying Lizard chassis.
Yep.
Flying Lizards, they used to operate out of Sonoma. Back
Did
in
they
the
really?
day. Yeah, they had their shop here right up on the hill.
Another great name.
Yeah, the local boys,
Sports
great
car
guys.
Racing, yeah.
Yeah, there we have two protagonists that go back a long way, an Alex Job racing car and a Flying Lizard car, who both teams dominated racing basically from 1998. Porsche.
Yeah, you couldn't go to Daytona without hearing Flying Lizards.
Or Alex Job, who
Job.
holds the record, I think, what is it, 13 wins at Sebring? It's some outstanding number,
Yeah.
including one year they finished in class 1, 2, 3. They ran 3 cars and they finished 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
That's a mighty feat.
You know.
Mighty feat. Checker flag out then on our latest group, Group 8. And thank you, the carries, for carrying us along. Appreciate it. And yeah, it's been a fun little exploration into a bit of sports cars on track. That's Group 8 as the 67 comes across the line. Now that's Matt Johnson, who comes in 12th position.